Welcome to the Pineapple Pinup Hot Wife Life. I am going to recount last night and last year. Um, this is the end of season 1, and it feels very monumental to me. So I'm a little nostalgic and I'm a little excited about the future. And I really hope that you guys are ready to take the journey with me. Obviously, with so many things going on in the month of January, my schedule has been very, very tight. And unfortunately, that meant that I was not able to see Josh as often as I would have liked. As a matter of fact, every single time we tried, something happened and it wasn't able to fully get there. So we finally met last night, and it had been probably since December since I'd seen him. And we were finally able to get together. And it was kind of a long session because we had so much going on and so much that we hadn't been able to do in the past. So it ended up being so much fun. Um, we he has expressed a desire see to have people dress up for him. And I have taken that to heart. And so when I invite him over, I make sure that I put on something a little racy, a little dicey, a little, you know, zhazhazhoo. And yesterday I decided on a black lace teddy that was split to the um that was halter necked but split to the belly button with just like a pair of panties with kind of a ruffle skirt on the sides and very little coverage for my ass. So I, of course, answered the door in this and took him upstairs. And the entire way up the stairs, he got a full look at my ass. And that was all the encouragement he needed. As soon as we got to the room, he put me face down over the edge of the bed and began eating my ass and my pussy from behind. And thank you very much. It was real nice. And he just put in a piece of mint gum. So everything was kind of getting this cool breeze to it, which was intriguing. I love a little hot cold play. I love a hot tongue with a little cool mint. It really it puts other layers into the experience. I love it's kinda like the same way I cook. I like to experiment with a little sweet, a little spice, a little, it just is savory and sweet and all of that stuff, how opposites make more of it activated. More of your mouth is activated when you have salty and sweet, and more of your genitals are activated when you have hot and cold. It's a another way to create more excitement is how I look at it. And it was working really, really well. He spent some time like down just gnawing away because it had been so long and he was eager to reacquaint himself. Then he put me on my back and fucked me good. Um, Made me squirt, and he pulled out and went down because he's really hoping that I will squirt on his face. Now, I understand the philosophy behind wanting someone to squirt on your face. I get it, but it is harder to achieve that than you would think, at least for me. Other people may have different physiology that will allow them to do the squirt from just clitoral play, but that is not me. I have to have a an almost steady drum beat on my G spot in order to get it to activate. And once it's activated, you know, I need that included in the play in order for me to squirt. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it can't happen solely from your mouth. It has to be a combination of maybe fingers in the mouth, and you have to dedicate some time to my G spot because my G spot can kind of be a pillow princess. She wants to lay there and just be serviced. So that's why the hook is very, very important. If that is what you're seeking, then there might be a combination of things that are needed in order to get that to happen. And you know what? If you have a girl that squirts, ask her how it works because we can kind of tell what's setting it off. So, ask her, how do I get this? How do I get you to rain down on my face? And we can probably give you a couple of pointers. Just that is my PSA. There is it was really great, because he then every single time he got me to squirt and he tried to, like, get down there, he literally just wanted to keep fucking me. We went, like, 3 different rounds because it had been so long, and it was so incredibly missed by both of us. We enjoyed ourselves immensely. And my husband, of course, was still at work. And it wasn't until um, I walked him out that my husband even arrived home. So my husband had to just relive it through videos. I don't know. Sad. But we, I can say that when it was just too much time had passed. Too much time had passed since I'd been able to see him, and that did not mean that during the interims that we were not both, getting what we needed, but there's something about that, um, relationship with your primary bull that allows you to have things very well oiled. You get all of the things that you're looking for, you get all of the things that you and a willingness to experiment with new and inventive things is always there. He desperately wants to play with my new toy and me. Um, my husband got me a Lovense. I think that's how you say it, or a Love Sense. I'm not sure. But it's a fuck machine. And he had set it up and he was planning to do like an inaugural filming of the video of its maiden voyage. And before we got the chance, my closet fell apart. My closet collapsed. And this brand new toy, very heavy, very expensive brand new toy, fell and ended up getting bent or broken and wasn't going to work. So one side is bent, the other side is still operational. So we actually did a test run with the singularly operational side, and oh my god, um, that I get it. I understand why the machine is as expensive as it is, and I understand what they're accomplishing. It mm, it was really great, and I will do an episode on that machine, especially after we get it fixed. I'll go into all of the things that, we have discovered with it because it was great. I mean, but one of the things that Josh follows us on my socials, and he knew about the machine, and he knew about the fact that my husband wanted to take it on a maiden voyage, and he came just after it had been broken and was like, "Damn it, I kinda wanted to be a part of that," and so he is very anxious to be a part of it, and as soon as we get it fixed, he wants to play with me and that machine, which is hello, okay, alright then. And I'm very excited about the opportunities that this machine is going to afford me, um, with playtime with my husband and all sorts of other things. Um, this is also one of those things that if we do start doing regular parties, that we might bring some of these toys with us and set them up as demonstrations or, opportunities for females to play with, without without anything else, and just make it kind of, more of a show and let people experiment with things that they may not have in their own toy chest. I'm not quite sure. That one is a to be decided, but, it's something that my husband and I talk about, because having parties is a lot of fun, and it's also it's something we can pull together fairly quickly because we do have a large, following and a large base of people, and we are situated in such a position where we can get people from the North and people from the South into our wasteland, and it's not as far of a drive as if they were, trying to attend each other's parties. So it gives us a good mix of people. But anyway, so back to last night. Um, we were I have been sick, and so my fluid intake has not been what it needs to be in order for me to be hydrated, enough to be the fountains that I am used to being. But I was still very, very squirty yesterday. And that's the thing I love about having a bull is that he has things that work for me. Um, and I don't know if the history, like my big thing, as you guys are probably aware, is history versus mystery. And meeting new people that give you new things and new experiences is awesome. But having somebody who knows the terrain is also really cool. And Josh knows the terrain. Josh knows where to go and what he's looking for. Um, some of the things that I have found is that not every bull is going to give you every single thing. Okay. I I cannot wait to play with Jeff again. Um, that guy, oh my God, he gets me. He gets me in a way that I don't think I've had anybody else get me. And I really miss it when I don't have access to him. So I am very much looking forward to finding an opportunity to meet up with Jeff very, very soon. And when I was in Vegas, I actually bought him something and I can't wait to give it to him. um, but yeah, so we are, uh, Josh and I, we have a communication physically. Our bodies know how to talk to one another. Um, he is not rough with me. He's not rough at all with me. And that is something that I'm not looking for, you know, beating me up sex. I'm looking for animalistic, not so much rough as just animalistic, as like more primal power. And while our play is very, very, very good. I sense that I'm missing that sometimes. 'Cause you can tell when you want a little bit more, power or a little bit more fierceness or um, a little bit tighter grip on whatever. Because he was holding my ankles, and I really missed the way that Jeff grips my ankles. Um, there was another gentleman that I played with who he was very much the same way. He gripped my ankles, and basically I knew that he was in his primal. He was This was where he wanted my legs to be where they were, and he was gonna fuck me in that position because this is where he wanted my legs to be. I miss that a little bit of control, a little bit of command, but, um, that is not to say that I did not come many, 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 many times and make a delightful mess all over my super absorbent towel. Um, I had a lot of fun, and I was so happy to see Josh last night, and it was great. And I am very excited to see what, because February is going to be another very, very busy month for us. We are scheduled to go to a hotel takeover, which I can't wait. I have not been to a full hotel takeover. I've been to a hotel floor takeover, and that was very fun. Really that was a lot of fun. That was back before my husband and I really, really started playing in the situation, in the lifestyle. It was more when we were observing, and so it was odd and strange, and my actual close personal friends were there, and it ended up being kind of, an eye-opening experience. And one of the things that made me realize that we may not have discussed it enough, we may not have set our expectations enough as to what we were seeking at these parties, which is one of the reasons why it soon after that fell apart and we didn't do it for a very long time. But now that we have expectations set and we have that, common understanding of what it is that we are trying to accomplish, I am excited for a weekend of hedonistic pleasure in a hotel that basically is 100% lifestyle approved. I am very excited to find out what this is gonna be like and what this hotel takeover is going to be. Um, and again, traveling for Dick is something that is a resolution for 2025. I'm going to travel more for Dick. I think it's important to expand my fuck horizons, if you will. So, I am very much looking forward to that, and that's coming up next month, so stay tuned, for season 2. Um, I will get more into that. By the time this comes out, it will officially be 2 years that I've been doing this podcast. It'll be my 2nd year, starting. 52 episodes for my first season, um, including this one. Um, I'm really excited about it. I'm very grateful that I have listeners, people who tune in to hear my thoughts about this. I am very freaking grateful that you are here and listening. And if there's anything in season 2 that you would like me to expound on, explore more, people you want to hear from, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Um, this this year has been great. It has been walking down memory lane. Um, it has been an exploration of the things that I've actually done and been up to. And it has given me the opportunity to share what I feel is a very sex positive message with anybody who wants to listen. I love the fact that the lifestyle is an option. It may not be an option that's open for you, but the fact that you're interested in figuring out why we do what we do, that's I like it. Um, I also think that opening a communication about anything is going to give everybody a better understanding. So the people who I mean, obviously people stumble across your podcast who aren't necessarily lifestyle oriented, but they want to get a glimpse at what this is all about. And the fact is that it's real. It's real life. It happens. You know, sex is a messy game and things the world is not as safe as we want it to be. But these are all things that we balance to make sure that, you know, we live the life as authentically as possible. And we share our story because I share my story because I want there to be less stigma attached to being sexually active, being sexually adventurous, being sexually satisfied. However, that comes to you, that is, I think, one of the most important things of being alive. And so, and also, I mean, there are other things other than sex, a really good meal. um, that's all really important. And choosing to live a life of experience, choosing to live a life of opportunity and exploration, for me, has given me so much. It has given me such a great awareness of why people approach things the way that they do. And it gives me empathy and compassion for people. So the more you know, the more you experience, the more you learn, the more you understand, it just broadens your mind to the experiences of other people and gives you the opportunity to explore how other people are living their lives. So I'm grateful that you're tuning in to listen to me ramble on and on without point or origin. My husband tells me all the time that it's obvious when I have gotten an idea that's not fully formed because he can hear me ramble away. And I'm okay with that. I like the stream of consciousness that goes into this. And I want to be, I want to use this platform as service to answer your questions, answer your, talk to you about things that you may or may not be facing. I've had a couple of people reach out to me that would be willing to come on to my podcast, and as soon as I figure out the best way to get the timing right, I'm probably going to set that up. Um, so if you are interested in coming on the podcast and sharing your story, you can always hit me up at pineapplepinuppod@gmail.com and we can schedule something so that we can all figure it out together. Some of my favorite things from this season have been naming um my the the squirt Lake Quant Wanna Come Fuck Me, one of my favorites. Fucking Cum Falls. I love it all. I also love vagina yoga and finding a vagina yogi to help stretch me. Um, all of that is stuff that I find very humorous, and I have really enjoyed the way my mind works on those few things. I loved recapping my first time, and how real it was, how human an experience it was, because there were highlights and there were lowlights and there was funny things that happened, and I have really, really enjoyed going into my memory banks and picking out those moments and those people that I played with and the fun that we had, and a 5-minute orgasm, always reliving the 5-minute orgasm. All of that is for me, um, so awesome. I have gotten the most response from Cuck Cleanup, and I've gotten so many people who want to add their experience to that, and I cannot thank you all enough for reaching out to me, because it helps me so much to think about who's listening and what it is that they're hearing when they listen. I am so grateful to all of you, and that's one of the highlights of this year for sure, is all of the emails and the instant messages that I have received on Instagram and whatnot. I can't do this without some feedback, because it could just be me talking into a void. And that's what it is, a lot of the time. But when I get these questions from listeners, when I get people who are engaged in finding out more and wanting to hear what I have to say about certain things, it is so very heartwarming and so very affirming that I'm on the right path. And that has been the one of the biggest highlights of my my journey this year. Being a hot wife is awesome. I have loved all of the experiences. I have loved doing this podcast and sharing with you what it's like to navigate the world of vanilla, pineapple, marriage, and what it takes to combine them, what it takes to combine your marriage with the lifestyle, the work, because it's not easy. Okay. There's so much that my husband and I talk about now that we didn't talk about before, but we've found it vitally important to keeping our marriage safe and sacred. And that is the blessing that this has given me. It's given me a place to put my thoughts out there and find new and interesting ideas that are forming in my head from saying this stuff out loud. It has given both my husband and I endless things to talk about, and I love sharing his perspective. I love when he comes on and talks about what he felt at certain events. And I'm probably going to do that more in season 2. I'm very much looking forward to that. I am also going to, I really, I have my friends over at privateadventures.net. They're really working to support me and my podcast. And if any of you want to support us, you can go to privateadventures.net and use the promo code pineapplepinup10 to basically support the show and to support a family-owned business. That sounds weird when we're talking about adult film or about adult toys, but it is. It is a man with a family who is, you know, working hard to start a business, and any support you can give him or I is gratefully accepted. Um, we this year has shown me so many different things and given me so many different opportunities, and I've met so many different people. And those people who know me from this podcast have been very effusive about the fact that, hey, I listened to your podcast. And I am like, I'm blown away and grateful and just so happy that you guys are out there. And this year, I want to do more. I want to talk to more people and get more stories and share more things with you. So hit me up if you have anything that you want to discuss. Thank you for joining me today and this entire year on Pineapple Pinup Pod. Um, Pineapple Pinup, the Hot Wife Life. I am so excited that we're moving into season 2. And this is my last episode for season 1. And I thank you for coming on this journey. And if there's anything that you need or want or have questions or just want some more details about, you can hit me up, pineapplepinuppod@gmail.com. And all of my socials are listed in my show description.